This is marriage wisdom for wives who want a long marriage. Resentment is why I'm intentional in my marriage. And when I say intentional, I don't mean dramatic gestures or big displays of affection. I mean the quiet decisions that happen in ordinary moments. Moments that most people would consider small. Moments that seem insignificant. Moments that no one applauds. For example, something as simple as cooking Jake's breakfast. When I cook his breakfast, I make sure I do it the way he likes, the way he prefers it, the way he enjoys it. Not because I have to, not because I'm trying to prove something, but because I understand something about resentment. Resentment does not grow overnight. Resentment grows slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. And by the time many couples notice it, it has already taken root. Many people believe resentment begins with something dramatic, a betrayal, a major argument, a moment of disrespect. But most of the time, resentment actually begins with smaller moments, repeated moments, moments where someone feels overlooked, moments where someone feels dismissed, moments where someone feels like their needs or preferences simply do not matter. Those moments add up. They accumulate over time. And eventually, those small moments begin forming a quiet narrative inside the mind. A narrative that says, my feelings don't matter here. My voice doesn't matter here. I'm not considered here. That narrative is the seed of resentment. And once resentment begins growing, it rarely stays small. That's why I pay attention to small things in my marriage. Small things are not actually small. They are signals, signals of care, signals of respect, signals of consideration. When you intentionally consider your spouse in small ways, you communicate something powerful without saying a word. You communicate, you matter to me. You are seen. You are valued. That kind of communication builds emotional safety, and emotional safety protects a marriage. Now, some people may hear that and say, but why does it matter how breakfast is cooked? It matters because intentional care prevents emotional neglect. And emotional neglect is one of the fastest ways resentment grows. Most people do not neglect their spouse intentionally. They simply become distracted by life, responsibilities, stress, work, children, schedules, bills, health. Life gets busy, and when life gets busy, consideration can slowly fade. Not because love disappears, but because attention disappears. And when attention disappears, appreciation often disappears with it. That is when resentment quietly begins forming. Intentional marriage means refusing to allow that quiet erosion. It means deciding that your relationship deserves attention, even when life is busy, even when life is stressful, even when you are tired. Intentional marriage is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Awareness of how your actions affect the emotional atmosphere of your home. Because whether we realize it or not, every marriage has an atmosphere. Some homes feel warm. Some homes feel tense. Some homes feel safe. Some homes feel heavy. And that atmosphere is created by the daily interactions between two people. Tone matters. Respect matters. Acknowledgement matters. Gratitude matters. Small kindnesses matter because those things build the emotional climate of a home. And once a climate forms, it becomes the environment both people live inside every day. If that environment becomes cold, distant, or dismissive, resentment begins growing naturally. But if that environment is built with intention, warmth grows naturally. Marriage requires emotional discipline, not emotional perfection, emotional discipline. Emotional discipline means choosing how you respond, even when you don't feel like it. It means choosing patience when irritation is easier. It means choosing kindness when frustration is present. It means choosing consideration even when life is demanding. Now, that doesn't mean ignoring problems. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It simply means refusing to allow everyday irritation to become everyday disrespect. Because repeated disrespect slowly destroys intimacy. Respect and resentment cannot live comfortably in the same place. Where respect grows, resentment struggles. Where resentment grows, respect slowly fades. That's why intentional behavior matters so much. When someone feels respected, they feel emotionally safe. When someone feels emotionally safe, they open up, they engage, they contribute, they invest. But when someone feels dismissed or unappreciated repeatedly, they slowly withdraw. Not always dramatically, sometimes quietly, sometimes silently, but withdrawal begins. And once withdrawal begins, connection begins weakening. Many long marriages survive not because the couple avoided conflict, but because they protected daily kindness, daily respect, daily consideration. They protected the little things, the things that seem ordinary, the things that don't make headlines, the things that rarely get recognition. Those things sustain connection. That's why I choose intentional actions in my marriage, because I understand something about human nature. We all want to feel valued. We all want to feel considered. We all want to feel like we matter in the life of the person we love. And sometimes the clearest way to communicate that is through simple acts of care. Cooking a meal the way someone likes it, listening attentively, speaking respectfully, acknowledging effort, showing appreciation. Those acts may appear small from the outside, but inside a marriage, they carry great weight. Resentment thrives where appreciation disappears. Resentment grows where consideration disappears. Resentment strengthens where people feel taken for granted. But when appreciation is present, resentment has difficulty growing. When consideration is present, resentment struggles to survive. That's why intentional behavior is so powerful. It protects the relationship before damage occurs. Long marriages are not built in grand moments. They are built in daily moments, daily conversations, daily choices, daily acts of kindness, daily discipline. Those daily habits accumulate over time. Just like resentment accumulates, intentional care accumulates too. And over the years, those habits form the foundation of stability. When couples consistently treat each other with care, the relationship develops resilience. Arguments happen, disagreements happen, difficult seasons happen, but the foundation remains strong because both people know they are valued. Both people know they are respected. Both people know they are considered. That knowledge protects the marriage during difficult seasons. Resentment is why I'm intentional in my marriage, because I've seen what happens when resentment takes root. I've seen how quietly it grows, how slowly it spreads, how deeply it can damage a relationship. So I choose something different. I choose intentional care, intentional respect, intentional consideration. Not because marriage is easy, but because marriage is valuable. And valuable things deserve intentional protection. And that is how long marriages are built.